Alright, so today is the day. We got the thing everybody's been waiting for. Paul George has arrived in the mail. And we got a little gift from our friends at Customs Canada. You guys see this right here? You guys see that? Customs charge. So not only did I pay $185 Canadian with shipping to get this sent to me, and not only did the NBA store take almost 4 weeks to ship this to me, but it turns out they wanted to also give me a little customs gift of $67 to pay on top of what I already paid. So this jersey, just for you guys, Mr. Paul George collected a nice little commission fee, $250 Canadian for this right here. And they might get eliminated tonight. So we got a little bit of an unboxing video for everybody here today. So let's do it. All right. Let's see right here. Got a nice little $10 worth of Bitcoin free. 10 pounds worth of Bitcoin free for some reason. So if anybody wants $10 of Bitcoin, I guess you could do this. It says enter code Fanatics10. I don't know if that'll even work, but whatever. Crypto, and look at this. Look at this. George, you know, coming from the NBA store, this is really poor packaging from the official site of the NBA. But here it is. Here it is. George, medium lace, Swingman jersey 2020. Should I put it on for you guys? Should I put it on? I'm gonna put it on. How rude of me. I actually stopped recording without even showing you guys the jersey. So here it is, George 13. Got the front, Los Angeles. We got the city jersey. It's the one you guys voted for. Actually, it's the one I like the most, so even if you didn't vote for it, I probably would have got this one, to be honest. But the quality of these jerseys has really gone down. Like, you guys see this? Like, it's not even stitched anymore. It's literally just screen print. So you're paying basically the price of a stitched jersey back in the day for screen print today. So NBA cutting costs like everything else. But let's put it on. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP, so please consider subscribing to the channel if that is of interest to you. And if you're a returning subscriber like Vazrami92, thank you for the support. In today's video, we are diving back into the Master League Classic and we are testing out Giratina Origin with Dragon Tail. So Dragon Tail is one of the moves that did receive a buff for Season 8, and as we've seen already this season, a lot of Pokemon did improve as a result of that change. Giratina Origin is one of those Pokemon that already had a solid fast move in the form of Shadow Claw, so it definitely does not need Dragon Tail. However, I wanted to test it out after the buff, and there are some matchups that flip as a result of it, as well as some matchups that become a lot worse as a result of it. So, is it worth using Dragon Tail in the Master League? Well, we're going to take a look at a few examples in a second. But if you guys enjoy this type of content, please make sure you smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. Alright, so before we jump into the battles, let's take a quick comparison of Dragon Tail versus Shadow Claw, looking at some of the more significant matchups in the meta with this change. You can see right here Snorlax, the match completely flips with Dragon Tail. That's assuming the Snorlax is running Superpower and Body Slam. Yveltal, another matchup you're still going to lose, but it does perform a lot better. Obstagoon, the one that really stands out here. You absolutely dominate Obstagoon now with Dragon Tail, even with the two Ghost type moves as the charge moves. Dragonite, another matchup that can flip. The same thing goes with Palkia and Zekrom. The Zekrom match isn't as strong as the Palkia or Dragonite one, but it's still a very close matchup. Togekiss, an example where you're going to lose, no longer could win even with a shield advantage, which is a little bit of a bummer, but that's a hard loss anyways as it is. And then Lugia, a matchup that becomes a loss. Excadrill is probably the biggest one that you end up losing, so there are some wins, some losses, but in particular, I think Dragon Tail definitely has some play, and it is an option to consider in the Master League. So let's hop into the first battle right here, and we are leading Melmetal on this squad with Togekiss in the back. So right away you could tell this team extremely weak to Excadrill, running Dragon Tail on the Giratina. Let's hope we don't run into any. We got the Melmetal mirror match right here, and this is typically a match where we're going to lose CMP because we do have a 13 attack stat. So I usually decide to shield the first one. They go for the Rock Slide bait, so that's unfortunate. I go for the Rock Slide. They no shield, so this player's a lunatic. Because I knew they were going to throw a superpower, I swap out into the Giratina Origin to catch the superpower, so we at least get that. And the opponent is going to order farm a little bit before swapping out into Dialga. You can see right here, Dragon Tail does chunk away, but this is still a losing matchup for Giratina. It doesn't really flip too much. Gonna go for the Shadow Ball here. They let that go through, and at this point I realized that I can't really have my Togekiss aligned onto the Melmetal, so I kind of need to win switch here, even though it means going down 2 shields. What I was hoping I could do here is farm down and then throw a move at whatever comes in, but I actually did not recall that Melmetal wins CMP against Giratina. So the Melmetal is going to throw energy here. We lose all that energy we had on the Giratina, but at least we come in with Melmetal here, which did exit with energy, and now we're going to go for the bait with Rock Slide because we need to start getting shields from the opponent right here. We do get one that's very good. Now I know that we could survive a superpower here. It's not like we could shield anyways because I have 0 left, but we will survive this. And I'm going to go for a Rock Slide right here. Honestly, I probably should have went for Superpower because I think that would make it more likely that I could get to back-to-back superpowers. As you see, by going for Rock Slide there, it doesn't really do anything for me because now they actually outpace me to the Superpower. We're going to lose CMP. If I threw Superpower first, there's a high possibility that I could have got there before the opponent. But they have a Dragonite in the back, so this was kind of the line I was predicting. The Melmetal double Dragon here, so Dialga, Dragonite. We could farm this down completely. They're probably going to hit us with the Hurricane. No, it's only a Dragon Claw, so that means we farm down. Now, because they're dry in energy, we should be able to outpace to the Flamethrower right here. Is this enough to knock out the Melmetal and take this game? Bang! There it is. We take that game. Despite a very difficult situation we found ourselves in, down 2 shields, we managed to come back and take that game right there. So, GG's to the opponent. Next matchup, Melmetal into Yveltal. This is what all the hype is around right now in the Master League. The opponent's going to swap out into Mewtwo. And I decide to throw a Rock Slide here before swapping out into my Giratina. So we do a little bit of chip damage here. Come in with Giratina. Now, I know that we can survive a Shadow Ball here. It's going to do a lot of damage, but we can survive it, I believe. And the Side Strike comes through anyways. And I actually clicked on the Omniswim, which is unfortunate because now it's going to be CMP tie. We have to shield at least once here, even if they did go for the Side Strike bait. So it probably makes more sense to shield the first one if we do think it's going to be Shadow Ball. I undercharge the Omniswim to get a little bit of farm here on the Giratina, and they come back in with Yveltal. And notice right here, these Dragon Tails are absolutely chunking. And we're going to get to this Shadow Ball right here. It's not going to be doing too much, but it still adds up, especially with this Dragon Tail damage. And look at this. The opponent's going for the farm down. They don't want to do that no more. They realize, what the heck, this Dragon Tail is doing way too much. I got to throw energy right here. So they throw a Dark Pulse. We're going to come in with the Togekiss right here. Of course, Togekiss is the biggest wall to Yveltal, I believe, in this meta. So we could take anything they throw at us, assuming they're not running like Hurricane or something. They swap out to Melmetal. We're going to come in with Melmetal. But once again, we find ourselves in a tricky position where we are in the Melmetal mirror down shield. So how are we going to get out of this? Well, we're going to take the first move, of course, because Superpower is not going to KO. We call the Rock Slide bait. That's huge. Now we're going to go for a bait of our own with the Rock Slide. We get the shield. So the matchup sort of starting to even itself out. We're still not in Superpower range, so I'm going to let this go through once again. And now they've lowered their defense before us. So I go for the Rock Slide here once again. Mainly do this because I don't want to get farmed down by Thundershock, but realistically that's probably not going to happen. So maybe another situation where I should have just went for the Superpower, but I go for the Rock Slide here. We get the second shield, and I'm able to get to the Superpower right here. And actually getting the bait with the Rock Slide means this Superpower is going to do a lot more damage, and we actually need that in order to farm down Togekiss here, which we're able to do. They come in with the Yveltal. They don't want the smoke, back out of that matchup. Able to, I guess, outplay the opponent there in the Melmetal mirror. I shouldn't really say outplay, it's sort of just a baiting game, kind of guessing, but we were able to guess correctly in that matchup. Take that win. Melmetal into Mewtwo right here. You don't often see Mewtwo in the lead. It's usually a safe switch, but I guess with Yveltal sort of being a huge threat to it as a safe switch now, a lot of people are starting to lead it maybe. We'll see. I haven't done too many Master League battles so far, but this was not going to be a Focus Blast. I was counting. There was no way. I believe they were one side cycle cut short, so I decided to no shield and then I go for the Rock Slide here. And actually, this second one here also should not have been a Focus Blast, but I kind of wussed out, so I decided to shield it anyways, and it's obviously a side strike. Now at this point, I decided, you know what? Since I already shielded once, it's going to be another side strike. I have to commit to the farm down now to get out of this matchup with energy. So they swap out into, I believe, Machamp here. So I'm going to throw a superpower and then come in with the Togekiss. Probably would have been better to save this energy instead, since Togekiss is pretty much a hard wall to Machamp right here. This should only be a cross chop, but even if it was a Rock Slide, it's not going to KO. Rock Slide from a non-shadow is about 50% of our health. So we farm down there. They come in with their own Togekiss, so now I'm really wishing I saved the energy on the Melmetal, and I let the extra charm go through, so not good. Gonna throw the Ancient Power, but what I'm realizing at this point now though is my Melmetal is way too low to deal with this Togekiss, and because my Giratina is running Dragon Tail, I need to shield here, because my charm damage is pretty much the only thing that's threatening this Togekiss. So we get farmed down there, but we did a lot of damage. I'm gonna come back in with Melmetal, look to do as much Thunder Shock damage as I possibly can, maybe even get the last shield with the Rock Slide right here, and then look to swap out into Giratina right now. Look to Dragon Tail down. Look at this charm damage. We just came in, we're already at like 75% health. It really chunks away. Ancient Power not going to KO. Mewtwo comes in, gets farmed down. Dragon Tail OP. Dragon Tail Giratina. Togekiss counter confirmed. Kazurashi in the next matchup. We got Melmetal into a Dialga, so finally a very positive lead right here, and usually those are the games that we end up throwing. So let's see how we play this time. Opponent is staying in here. Usually they're gonna wait until they get to Draco meter, so we're going past 100 energy. I decided to throw here. Actually, I forgot how this matchup should play out because I haven't done it in so long, but I decided to throw once I get to 100. Now the Draco meter, of course, is gonna be doing a lot more damage now, almost taking us out, but we're very close to 2 superpowers, so I'm gonna go for the next one here. This would KO. I actually think if the opponent shields here, maybe they could win this matchup in the 1 versus 0, but they let it go through, which is really nice for us because we kind of need to maintain switch advantage right here. I'd assume they come with Melmetal. We're gonna throw a super debuffed superpower right here. Not really doing much to the Melmetal, they let that go through, and they farm down. Gonna come in with the Giratina Origin right here. Opponent swaps out into Yveltal, and here comes the Togekiss. So this is pretty much the definition of hard counter city right here. So unless this Yveltal is running something like Hurricane, probably still won't KO. We're in a very good spot. Pretty sure most of them are running Dark Pulse and Focus Blast. That kind of seems like the moveset you need for the Master League, and they get farmed down. Melmetal comes back in. We're very close to a Flamethrower, of course, so they are going to throw their energy to prevent getting hit by that. But we come in with Giratina. Even running Dragon Tail, this is a very solid matchup to be in. You can pretty much just go Omnis Win here. I'm fishing for the boost. At this point, it really doesn't matter. I could even farm down with Dragon Tail at this point, so even though they no shield, it's not a big deal. We're going to no shield as well. This is basically going to become a no shield matchup. Who wants to finish it off first? Rock Slide coming through. Omnis Win will be enough to take this game. If the opponent shields, we'll just Dragon Tail down. They do shield, so matchup being prolonged here, but we're just going to farm down Dragon Tail. 2 shield flex. I think the opponent shielded there because they didn't want to lose with 2 shields, which makes sense. So we take that game. We're actually 4-0 right now with Dragon Tail Giratina. Painful Freak in the next matchup. We got Melmetal into Dialga, so back-to-back positive leads right here. This time the opponent swaps out, and they basically come into probably one of the hardest counters for Melmetal. So that kind of tells me that they probably have a second really hard counter for Melmetal in the back. I was thinking maybe it's Excadrill, which if it is, we're in a really bad spot. So Togekiss versus Groudon. This is a pretty solid matchup right here. You can see the Fire Punch is coming through, does quite a bit. And because I didn't click the Ancient Power, they're actually going to win CMP. So I'm going to let this go through again. They can't really mud shot down, so even if they did shield here, I still think we could charm down before they're able to mud shot down. They'd have to throw a Fire Punch, which we would of course shield because we need to maintain switch here. See mud shot not doing anything. Able to charm down. Opponent comes in with Mewtwo, and they get a nice little farm right there with Cycle Cup. But we come in with Giratina Origin. And at this point, I guess the win condition becomes just keeping the alignment. So I'm going to no-shield the first one. They didn't build up to a Shadow Ball. It's a Side Strike. And I'm going to go for the Omnis Win, but they actually make a great time swap there, especially because I'm running Dragon Tail. I did go over the Omnis Win, so that was a very nice swap on the opponent's end. And those are the kind of swaps you need to make to come back from hard counter teams like this, in which the opponent finds themselves. So we come with Melmetal right here. Gonna throw the superpower. They try to call the bait right there. Fortunately for us, it was not a bait. Now we're going for the Rock Slide. They're probably gonna shield this at this point, which they do. And I'm going to over farm a little bit. Tried to get off the superpower before they got to another move, but they are going to throw I guess the Draco Meteor here, and I decided to no shield this because at this point, I think if I let that go and just come in with the Giratina, with 2 shields, I should be able to Dragon Tail farm down the Mewtwo here and take this match. If I did shield, I probably could have got a Rock Slide off on the Mewtwo anyways, but I think this was the safer play, definitely a guaranteed win if I just went this route, which is use both shields, commit to a farm down. You definitely do not want to be throwing energy here at the Mewtwo. Farming down is the way to go. We take that game and we get a perfect 5-0 with the Dragon Tail Giratina Paul George hype MVP. So those were the battles featuring Giratina Origin with Dragon Tail in the Master League Classic. Hope you guys found those battles entertaining and useful for some information on how Dragon Tail performs in this meta. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.